And good morning, people. Welcome back to the Legend of Dragoon. I am done with my grind. I say done, but there's a couple of things I still need to do, but for the most part I am done. I did say I was going to be doing my grind in the Valley of Corrupted Gravity. I abandoned that pretty quickly, actually. It was literally within the first half hour. Instead, what I decided to do was go back to Donnell, buy a second Ultimate War God. Yes, 10,000 and gold. Sure, it's eating into my budget a little bit, but my plan was there. I did have a look at the War Gods called in for this, but not only is it detrimental to SP and damage, which wasn't too bad in what I had planned, but it also doesn't count additions. The Ultimate War God is full damage, full SP, and counts towards your addition total. So yeah, 2 Ultimate War Gods, the one I got on the Ghost ship a while back, which I'm glad I picked up now, and kept, and one I bought just a little while ago. I then went back to the desert in the Death Frontier, because as I said when I was in there, enemies come to you. You don't have to run around looking for them. In the Valley of Corrupted Gravity, if you're going to do it the way I was thinking, you'd have to run around and find the enemy, which can take a little bit of time, wait until it uses physical defense barrier, which can wait a little bit of time, then you have 1 or 2 hits in, and then you have to wait again. It's long-winded. But in the Death Frontier, I sort of just let them come to me, press a button, and let the computer do the additions for me, basically. I'm also glad I did that, because the sandworms drop spirit potions, which I then use to get my Dragoon levels up much faster. 100 SP, yeah. So everyone is now Dragoon level 5, and everyone has their additions maxed. If you decided to view the last part, which had all the moves and additions in there you go. That's another thing to prove that I did. I'm not completely done though. Dart still has 41 blazing dynamos to complete, and Merud still has 31 perky steps to complete. So we are almost there, but not quite. But essentially we are there. Dart doesn't leave and the party, so plenty of time to do that still, and Meru is going to be sticking around for a bit, and so there's plenty of time to do that. The other thing that happened on my way back, I picked up some poison needles from Ulara, because in the path between Ulara and the Death Frontier desert there is the treasure jar. They're susceptible to poison, that's why I picked up the poison needles. You throw a poison needle at it, you let it get it gets poisoned, you let it take 2 points of damage every turn. Well, it takes 1 point of damage every turn. You let it take 2 points of damage, then use the magic signet stone to block its move for a 3rd turn. Then on the last turn, the 6th turn, it then dies before running. So it's a little bit finicky sometimes, but that's 1,000 experience, 300 gold, and a Moon Serenade. I was hoping it was a little bit more on terms of money, because I did want to get the money back from the Ultimate War God that I purchased, but I'm mostly there. I'm up to 22,000 again, so I'm there. Because those funds are going to be used for things, and I am going to sell one of the Ultimate War Gods packs, maybe both of them, not too sure yet. There was also something else that happened in that particular run back, but I'll show you that in a bit because it's more pertinent to what's coming up rather than what happened during my grind and in between the last main part and this one. As for what's going forward, well, as you can see, we're back in Fletz. It's been a while since we've been here. Back in chapter 2. We've been informed by the Winglies of Ulara that the king has prepared a boat for us to go to Rouge. So we can continue to, well, I say continue, but it's more we can begin to chase Zeeg. Isn't it funny how we've pretty much been chasing someone throughout this entire game? Never really catching up with them. When we think we've got to the person that we need to catch up to, there's another one that does it. That suddenly got out in front and we're having to chase them. Anyways, let's go and see the king, shall we? Or Nello first. You really did what? You were trying to create plants in the dead soil, basically. Oh, and because you were trying to repopulate the plants in the barrens. That's great. Still feel like you're being watched by someone. Oh, I wonder who that is. Oh, we might go and check on her in a moment. Anything else that really needs to happen down here? I'm pretty certain Martel is not here. She was in the inn. I'm pretty certain she doesn't return here. Yeah. Let's check a cup with caffeine. Yep, they've been making it a port. We'll get to that in a moment. Fester's not in? Okay. He's probably doing things in the castle. Do I want to check up the shops here? I'm pretty sure nothing's new and nothing's any better. Yeah, nothing's new just yet. I'm not actually sure if anything does get... if the items do change here. They do in a couple of places, but I'm not entirely certain which ones either. Thank you very much, Mr. Big Guard. Well, this is quite the reception. King Zior, Emil, Lisa, the maid, which I can't remember the name of, and Fester. And yeah, been a while. So you've been visited by Karen. Wonder how that went. How must have been a bit of a shock for you. No real explanations, so it's sort of just like, yeah, we trust you. We trust the Dragoons. They've helped us out. We will do our part. Hmm. Commodore Pula, or Pula, been waiting in the basement. And that's what these doors are for. Not something that we could have went into earlier, but now we can. I'm going to go check up on Lisa, see if she's still fawning over Nello. Most likely is. Actually, I'm going to check up on the King and Emil as well. Yep, she is. You're sort of in love, Lisa. Just since the beginning of that little bit. Emil, and of course Albert's the first one into the room. That's not a surprise in the slightest. Let's give them some time. That's a good question. There's 7 Dragoons. How much of a percentage? It's not exactly even across the... Well, you can give a little bit of evenness to it, but 7 isn't exactly an easy number to divide. No, you're not sorry. You wanted to know. You wanted to know if this is going to work between you and her. You won't see him off, no. You'll see him return. And the Queen, and the King, and the King. Oh, this is Miranda's first time meeting King Zior. This is sort of a more diplomatic meeting than I actually first thought. Yeah, let's face it, it's not like we don't have royalty with us already. That is a big decision, actually. You might have sort of been told things, and as the ruler and the authority figure, it's now up to you to see how much of this should be let out beyond rumor, which always spreads like wildfire. Not only because of the end of the world situation, but there are Winglies. Let's not forget that part. So, as Dart said, the only thing left to do is to do it. Doesn't matter which door you go through, they lead to the same place. Just one takes you up the one path, the other takes you up through the other door. Yeah, it's very, very simple. So the Queen Fury. Haven't used this boat in a while. Do we look confident? I wouldn't say we are, but I suppose we can put on a brave face. Well, we say unknown land, but we sort of have a guide here in Hashel. It's his hometown. Not that Commodore Pula is actually caring about that part. Meanwhile, Kayla is actually a little bit more down to earth and understands that it's going to be a long journey, it's not going to be easy. Let's do our best. And don't go unprepared. That is something we will do. Absolutely. 200%. Dart will not stop until that happens. We are done though. We don't have anything to do here. There's literally nothing in town that we need. Rouge awaits. So a new patch of water. This patch of water is probably the most infamous of this particular game because it has a drop. Well, it has an enemy in it that you really want to fight. It's got something like a 50% chance of it actually being here. It's this or two other enemies, I believe. But this is it. The rainbow bird. You can find these on the path between Ulara and the Death Frontier. I found one. Let's just put it this way, I found one. And I killed it. Why? Because this is probably the easiest thing that you can get experience from. It has a 3,000 experience as a reward. No money or anything, just 3,000 experience. You can't attack it, you can't damage this thing normally, it runs away very easily. It's only susceptible to confusion, I believe, and that is really risky because confused enemies like to run away as well. So the best way to do it, because it's only got 6 HP, and this is what I've kept the sachets for, is just to use one of these. I used one of the sachets on the rainbow bird I found on my way back while I was in the middle of doing the treasure jar fighting, and I'm going to use it on these. I'm going to fight 2 of these, and all my current party members are going to get 1,000 experience, and everyone in the back row 500. It's simple as that, really. So there's the 3,000 experience. They also do have a drop. I think it's something like a 5. I'm not entirely certain of the percentage. It's rare, I believe. Obviously, I got one while I was from the other, from the one I fought before, because yeah, of course I wasn't recording at the time. But the drop they have, because it's currently equipped to Meru, I think it is. Yeah, that there, the rainbow dress. Poison, stun, and arm blocking avoidance, so can't be hit by those. And very good defences as well. Extremely good defences, actually. If I can get another one, it isn't exactly the be all or end all, because they will be replaced in the end anyway. But until that point, sure, I'll have that. So, one more rainbow bird for one more sachet. They've been in my bag for a while. It's good to get them out of the way, especially to get them out of my way, getting a whole load of experience as well. Now that that's done, let's actually put in the party members that I'm going to be using for this little bit anyway. They should be armed and ready. You've got the bandit's ring, you've got the bandit's shoes and therapy ring. Yep, that looks good. Herschel because, well, this is his hometown, and Albert because, well, I couldn't think of anyone else to use. I don't want to use Meru and Rose for this next part because I'm going to be using them a lot still, but I still want to give other characters their due, and these two are the only other characters that are really serviceable at this point. Yeah, I have Congo and Miranda, but Congo, and I will be using them a little bit, but it's Congo and Miranda. Anyways, now that that's all done, I believe all that's left is to go to Rouge, and we'll head there next time. You can go onto the boat and do all the things that you normally do there. I think you can run around and speak to people, but there's not really much point. I mean, we can do the cutting game for 1 gold. No. Let's continue with the story. There's nothing holding us back. Let's go. Until then, have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. Goodbye.